Welcome to the channel Ginger Ninja's Movie Reviews. I am the Ginger Ninja and yes, these are my movie reviews. If you're new to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in, stopping by and checking it out. Truly is appreciated. And we're halfway through Monster Mayhem. I know it's a pretty generic term, but whatever. To my returning viewers, thank you very much for tuning in and checking it out. It is, again, truly appreciated. All your comments, likes, really do love it. So, this week, as part of Monster Mayhem, we're looking at a bit of a mashup movie. And we are looking at Van Helsing. Now, Van Helsing came out in 2004. It was directed by Stephen Sommers. It has a huge cast starring Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, Richard Roxburgh, David Wenham, and many more. Very Australia-heavy cast, so thumbs up to that. Now, there will be plot specifics and spoilers discussed about this movie, so if you have not seen it, you've been warned. Now, the famed monster hunter Van Helsing, Gabriel Van Helsing, is sent to Transylvania to stop Count Dracula. He is using Frankenstein and Dr. Frankenstein's creation science to unleash a horde of creatures and stuff. It's an interesting take on the story. The movie was actually set to start a whole new franchise, but due to poor reviews and poor box office returns, it never actually happened. And watching this movie, you can actually see why. Part of it is due to and I'll touch on this in the writing aspect of the movie, but it's very convoluted and just bogged down in, talk about that in a moment. So let's have a look at the cast first off. So Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, Richard Roxburgh, David Wenham. Man, what a cast. Like I said, Aussie strong cast. You've got Jackman, Roxburgh, Wenham. Kate Beckinsale is great in this, as always, looks stunning. Hugh Jackman is sort of just starting out in Hollywood, I guess, like probably around the time of X-Men, things like that. So Roxburgh, Wenham, great. Really enjoyed all their performances, especially Roxburgh. Richard Roxburgh had his interpretation of Count Dracula is really unique. He's villainous, but also quite eccentric. There's an element of caring, but also menace, especially when he's confronting his brides, the brides of Dracula, and wanting them to have a family as such. I did enjoy his interpretation of it. Van Helsing himself, Hugh Jackman does great. Looks like he's having a lot of fun with it. And it is a bit of a pity that this never really took off. And that, like I said, we'll touch on that in the writing, but directing and writing go together because it was directed by Stephen Sommers. It was also written by Stephen Sommers. It's a monster movie mashup and it has a variety of different elements that are really handled well. However, the overall plot is convoluted, as I mentioned, and it's weighed down by too much. You have too much going on in it. You've got not all, you've got the majority of your great creature features. Let's just get this back up and running. So you've got the majority of your creature features. You've got Dracula, you've got the werewolf, you've got Frankenstein's creature, you've got Igor, you've got you've got everything. You don't have the mummy. There was talks of putting Gilman from Creature from Black Lagoon in this, but never happened. But that is part of the problem. You've got way too much happening in this film. If it was trimmed back, cut down, and made leaner and meaner, I could see this being a really successful, at least a trilogy of films, and each one leading up to a final battle between Count Dracula and Van Helsing. I also wasn't a huge fan of the way this ended. And like I said, spoilers, you were warned. So unfortunately they killed off Kate Beckinsale's character in this, and I get why, because it is part of the reason why Van Helsing goes to Transylvania, but I thought she would have been a good continuation of the series, of the story, alongside Hugh Jackman. She could put up a fight. She was able to, there was good back and forth between them. I really enjoyed her character and the way she, tied into everything. But, like I said, so many different directions to this movie. They need to cut it back a bit. effects. Early 2000s special effects were very CGI-laden movies, and this is no exception. And we all know my thoughts on CGI. I'm not a fan of it. However, in this movie, it does have its place, and they use it really well. This movie is a fun movie. It's not exactly a horror movie. It has elements of horror, but it's almost cartoonish in a way. And I think that works for this. It's an out there cartoonish vibe to it, and that actually suits the CGI that's in it. And the CGI is really good. Don't get me wrong, it is done really well, and I actually quite enjoyed in this. It looks, you just saw the werewolf there, looked really good, right? So yeah. Rewatchability. Now, I did mention this had poor box office returns. Look, to be honest, I probably saw it in the cinemas 2 or 3 times. I did enjoy it back in 2004, and I still do get some enjoyment out of it now. It is a good movie. I probably don't go back and rewatch it as often as I should, but that's just because the plot is so bogged down in so many different things. But it was really good to go back and rewatch it for this review. So overall, look, it's a decent movie. It's got a great cast, good special effects, but the plot is just not there. Like, it's not a good story. Overall, I'm going to give Van Helsing a 6.5 out of 10. So there you have it. That is my review of Van Helsing. Have you guys seen this movie? What did you think of it? Please let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. And obviously, if you haven't already, please do give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for future content if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so that way you're notified every time I do release a new video. And also, don't forget, this month I was voted as YouTube Entertainer of the Month. Yay me. And there is still time to vote on who is going to be next month's YouTuber of the Month. I've nominated 5 YouTubers. They're on my channel. Go check out the video. Put your vote in for them, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.